Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. And today, for your Patreon cast of the week, for October the 15th, it's going to be INnoVation versus Scarlett here from DreamHack Fall. Should be an excellent game here between two players who are very excellent and very popular. Bottom left-hand corner here is the Canadian Zerg player. Her name is Scarlett, and she's red. And in the top right, it is the blue Terran player, INnoVation. INnoVation, a very, very scary Terran player, playing so well right now. Spoiler alert, for those of you who did not watch CSL Season 3 in the group stage 2. I think by this point we're probably safe, but the next, 20 seconds, just mute it if you don't want to know. But INnoVation made it out of his group when there was Rogue and Dark involved in the group. Okay, it was Rogue and Dark. And he made it out. He beat both of them, I think. So his TVZ is in a great place in this section of 2020, and I really expect him to give Scarlett everything that she can handle. Additionally, minor spoiler alert again, INnoVation has beat Cyril on the channel recently. I'm telling you, INnoVation's TVZ is in a great place here in 2020 at this stage of the year. Whether that can continue, I don't know, but for now, I expect him... He's probably the most dangerous Terran player against Zerg there is right now, having taken down, Rogue, Dark, and Cyril, all in basically sequence here in 2020. Reaper on the way. We have a Reaper name ready to go. Sometimes people ask, where do you get your Reaper names? Just in any comment. Leave it in a comment in any of my videos. I will find it. I'll toss it into a document. We'll have a list of them ready to go at a moment's notice. Especially for TVZs, though. So this Reaper's name is INnoVation. In an alternate universe, the events of the cult classic movie INnoVation never took place. And INnoVation was continued to stay frozen on Earth until the very far future. He was discovered just before the first human settlers shipped off to the Caprulu sector and mistaken for another cryogenic settler. Upon arrival, INnoVation was released and surprised everyone with his ancient swagger and sexy jawline. Fearing he would steal all their girls, they strapped him into a Reaper suit and told him to go kill some things. I don't know that giving, a Cro-Magnon human being... I don't know if it classifies as human being, but Cro-Magnon, whatever. A jetpack and 2 guns makes any sense, but sure. We're down. Again, no attempt to block this third base at all. I don't understand it, but you know what? INnoVation can do what he wants. He's doing so well at StarCraft currently. He can do what he wants. And he will. And he is. And he doesn't need my permission for it. So we're doing nothing out of the ordinary for INnoVation at all right now. That is a starport. These are going to be Hellions. Stop me if you've heard this one. There's probably going to be a fast third CC here. This has been some very, very standard TVZ shenanigans. Not even shenanigans, because it's so darn standard at this point. Standard TVZ stuff. If you're a Terran player and you're having trouble with Zerg, do this, man. 1-1-1 it. Get some Hellions out. Scout around and make sure it's not some kind of a crazy Ling Flood, because then you want to wall off, maybe get a tank or something. But get a third CC after your starport. Build it inside your main. And get some pressure on with the Hellions. Land your third base while the pressure is happening. And you're going to have a pretty decent time against a Zerg player. If it works against Scarlett, it probably works against the Zerg players that you face on ladder. Because I highly doubt you're on the EU, or rather NAGM ladder like Scarlett is. Actually, she's still in Korea. So you're probably not playing on the Korean GM ladder either, would be my guess. Would be my guess. Oh, the traps. Yeah, he's out. Oh, he's alive. Oh, and INnoVation accomplishing things. He's got a kill and 1 HP. Okay, he's dead. Wait, how did he had a kill. Was that maybe 1 HP that I saw, not 1 kill? Because I don't think there's, nothing has died for Scarlett yet, which seems bad for INnoVation. But, hey, it's a Raven. Caden was asking about Ravens the other day. How come we don't see any Ravens in StarCraft? We do. We see them mostly in TVPs. We use them to Interference Matrix Colossus and things on our early pushes. You can also use them to clear out creep instead of burning scans, which is very nice for Terran players. But that said, Ravens are slow, and that is kind of their death knell in StarCraft, is what it comes down to is... If you have to retreat from a situation against a Zerg player or against a Protoss player, as a Terran, you generally are going to have to. It makes sense for you to kite. The Raven sucks at that, and the Raven's going to be really slow retreating, and it will probably die to whatever is chasing the rest of your army. So that's why Ravens are bad. Otherwise, they'd be better. Maybe a buff to their speed would be nice, but then I really, really think that Blizzard hates the mass Raven strategy and has tried to kill it multiple times and successfully done so this time. So anything that buffs Ravens, I think they're going to be very wary about. But this is nice. Look, you don't have to waste scans to kill these tumors. See, look how much slower the Raven is compared to these Hellions. You see what I'm talking about? And that Changeling is dead. Oh my gosh, the Changeling is alive. This is the most successful Changeling I have ever seen against INnoVation. Look at this guy. See, already taking some queen shots, just trying to retreat. It's so hard with slow Ravens. I think INnoVation knows this is a Changeling and is just letting it survive. Just out of sheer, I don't know. Like sheer just love. Love for this Changeling. He doesn't want it to die. He believes in it. He believes in its future. He knows it's going to die eventually anyway, so what does it matter? I mean, Scarlett's like, how is this happening? How is this Marine, or this Changeling, being allowed to live for so long? INnoVation figured it out, or just got tired of it. Either way. Muta's on the way. Scarlett does love her Mutalisk. She was going Mutaling Bane when most other Zerg players had abandoned it in the last, 2, 3, 4 years. She has always been consistently someone who will make Mutalisks. And now that there's this crazy Mutalisk revival going on, where all the elite Zerg players are just going Muta in every matchup, Scarlett feels pretty well equipped to do some good stuff here, I feel like. So fourth base coming in from Scarlett. It is later than INnoVation's third because, I don't know, Terrans can afford to be pretty greedy in the early stages of the game. That turret's coming up, but it's not done yet. The Mutas can jump on that SCV. An auto turret might be pretty good. Oh, don't fly into the Marines, though, Scarlett. Do we trust you with Mutalisks, Scarlett? That's 4 SCVs down for 1 Mutalisk. I think we're okay. I think we can roll with that. So yeah, if you're watching this the week of October the 15th, thank you for supporting me on patreon.com/Falcon Paladin for at least $1 a month. It allows you to see these replays a month before anybody else does. I always choose really good matchups for these Patreon games, y'all. So if you've been waiting for a Scarlett game, congratulations, you got one a month before anybody else would see it. The Scarlett versus INnoVation of all the matchups too here. Come on. Come on. Can she pull it off against the terrifying INnoVation, or is she going to die to INnoVation's ruthless Widow Mines? It's entirely possible, isn't it? Because we're definitely going bio here. There's a Thor in the mix. But Drilling Claws here, a lot of reactor barracks. This has been wide open. If you're a Zerg player, honestly, killing these little choke-creating rocks in the middle of any map is going to be good for you overall. That's exactly why Scarlett did it. This Raven is alive, and I think it got repaired too. And it has a kill. So yeah, if you're INnoVation and you have a Raven, you're going to do better with it than the average, the average GM player or the average Masters or Diamond player. Just by the very nature of your abilities. So yeah, we're making mutas, man. We are up to 13 with 4 more on the way. Changelings getting tossed down. The Overseers have speed, so they're zippity zoppity. 1-1 coming in for the Lings and the Banelings, which is nice. And yeah, this is the right composition to deal with what INnoVation is doing. It's just execution. That is what most of StarCraft comes down to. I mean, every once in a while we get a game where somebody just fails to make what they need to make against their opponent and they die. And it doesn't matter how good their execution is because they made the wrong thing. That happens every once in a while, but not as often as just both players know exactly what they need to do and what they want to do, and they both go viable comps. But it just comes down to how many Widow Mines see the Raven died because it was too slow to run away. Fare thee well, Raven. Just comes down to execution. How well can you do the damage? All right, so INnoVation now has to use scans to clear out creep. Widow Mine gets a shot up on some of those Zerglings. Fifth base coming up left side for Scarlett. Fourth base done. And upgrading to a command center on the right side here for INnoVation at the 3 o'clock. You can take out these Marines and magic box the Thor. Okay, the Thor is dead anyway. The Lings and Banelings killed most of it. Medevacs are done, which means this group is in a lot of trouble, but this group doing better. Down south, Hellbats in the front. Widow Mine's burrowing right near this hatchery, which is super bad. That is an evac of this base for sure. Ling's jumping in, trying to Baneling bomb this planetary while all this is happening. I don't know if that's enough Banelings. And I'm pretty sure Scarlett agrees with me there that it's not enough Banelings. She's going to get some damage done to it, but not kill it. Kill a couple SCVs, nice pull, and INnoVation, having killed a base and not lost his 4th base, looks like he's going to pull back a little bit here, so that's fine. You can live with that outcome. Creep spread from Scarlett is insane, as it usually is. I mean, yes, this particular area is devoid of tumors because INnoVation lives here right now, but I mean, so much. The Banelings come rolling in. Is it enough on creep engagement? Oh, big Widow Mine hit there. One of these Widow Mines has like 8 kills, and that's your good game, INnoVation. Is your winner in 10 minutes in our sneaky twofer. Game number 1 is over. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about here is sometimes one Widow Mine hit is enough to change everything. Yeah, these Banelings die, yada yada yada. INnoVation pulls back a little bit, clears some creep up in this section. These Hellbats get destroyed. Man, that rewinded more than I wanted it to. It's cool. It's fine. We can roll with it. Widow Mine picked off there. Very nice control by Scarlett. Where is it? Let's find where it is. So this right side, it's this group of Banelings that dies, isn't it? Yeah. It is. So what is, that's not Tank Splash. Oh my gosh, that one has 21 kills. It's not that Widow Mine, is it? Gotta figure out which Widow Mine killed those Banelings. This is tricky. This is like CSI stuff right now. Zoom and enhance. I gotta catch those Banelings before they explode. Oh, right here. See that guy? No, not that one. It's this one? Back it up. Sorry, guys. I know you want to see game 2, but maybe just skip ahead like a minute and a half or so. We're gonna get this. I think it's the one that has 21 kills, right? Or does it already have 21 kills when it shows up? Okay, so none of these Widow Mines have kills now, which means, yeah. Which means it would be 121 mine. This one? Yeah. Okay, that was it. That was the one. It was a 21 kill Widow Mine, and Scarlett tapped right out. So that's game 1. Really rough stuff there for Scarlett, for sure. Ends up losing 12,000 resources to fix 6,000 resources for INnoVation. Widow Mine, good unit, man. 17 Mutalisks died. She had 7 left over. 34 Banelings died, which usually means died without exploding on their intended target. I don't know if that's accurate, though. I think it's really hard to measure that, actually. But yeah, 173 to 139 total supply. Just not enough. It's doubling army supply here. Not enough for Scarlett. She taps out. So let's move into game number 2 here. See if she can do any better here against INnoVation. That one Widow Mine hit, man. That was brutal. See if game 2 is better for our Canadian Zerg player. Hey, it's Ice and Chrome. Do you miss Ice and Chrome? I miss Ice and Chrome. They removed it from the map pool, and I am sad. It was only there for 1 season. But we got so many epic games from it. Bottom left here is INnoVation. Top right, red again, it is Scarlett. Do you think Scarlett is always red? I think I asked that question maybe a few months ago, but evidence says yes, at least in these last 2 games. Anyway, there we go. The music came back. The music came back. Hey, you ever listen to Falcon Paladin Hour? It is a weekly podcast with myself and Somacron. Sometimes we have special guests from the StarCraft community. We talk about things like GSL predictions. We talk about the state of the game and balance updates. We also talk about TV shows and movies and anime and books that we're reading, and it's all sorts of nerdy things that you might enjoy hearing about. weekly podcast. Again, it is free, available wherever you get your podcasts. I mean, we're talking Apple phones, Android phones, Windows phones. All have podcast apps, and we're on all of them. We're also on Spotify if you like getting your podcasts there. Some people do. Check us out. Falcon Paladin Hour. Weekly. Anything crazy here? Absolutely not. 0%. No craziness to be had. I don't know. I was kind of expecting maybe a proxy hatch here in Game 2, but it's fine. It's totally fine. A Reaper on the way. Overlords scouting out. Sloverlords being Sloverlordy. SCB. The purpose of the SCB, as we all know, is to make sure that this is not a 12 pool. If you show up on the other side of the map and the hatchery is not anywhere near done and there's lings biting your face off, go back home. Also, the Reaper that you're making, keep them at home to defend against the incoming Zerglings. But look, the hatch is done. Cool. We're good. That was not a 12 pool. Excellent. Is that another? Oh, okay. This is a Reaper. Reaper on the way. Reaper's name is Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow, the ultimate life form, a cartoon rat who uses guns and says the D word while using the Dragon Balls, I mean the Chaos Emeralds, to teleport across the universe. He missed his target and landed in a Reaper suit. He went from being a speedster using guns to being a speedster using guns. Reference, Sonic the Hedgehog is not even good enough to be my faker. I don't know what that last part means, but it's cool. Not really into Sonic lore, it turns out. I don't think I even saw the Sonic movie. Yeah, I definitely didn't. I think I watched some videos about it, but I never watched it myself. I heard it was pretty good. I'm not saying it was bad. I never got around to checking it out. These lings made it... Wow. Like, yes, the lings get here and they are annoying until your Hellions arrive. Where's the Hellions? Alright, well, the Reaper came home, and that SCV is gonna make it. We're not gonna make it. Oh, he did make it. Look at this Reaper. 4 kills! Yes. Are they all Zerglings? Mm-hmm. But, it's cool. That was interesting. So Scarlett managed to sneak out the lings way down here across ice and chrome to get some harassment done. I mean, accomplished. Maybe some lost mining time, and the Reaper had to come home, but I'm sure INnoVation is cool with all of those results. And is he just doing the same thing? Of course he is. INnoVation is known for being a bit of a robot. He doesn't really switch things up all that much. He's getting a Raven again like he did in game number 1. I'm sure a third CC is going to start right about now. And in fact, it is just part of his wall, not his natural base this time. See? He says, Falcon, INnoVation can switch things up. Did that Reaper go all the way back over here and die? Certainly did. Gotcha. Alright, cool. Any more kills? No. Fare thee well, Shadow the Hedgehog. So right then. Raven coming up. Third CC coming up. Stim on the way. INnoVation's APM is moving. Around 200. Scarlett's always been a very fast player. 400, 300 more her style. But as we've seen, APM is not everything. If you can get to a like a 200 to 300 range that you can kind of live in as a pro player, you're going to have a better time than somebody who lives lower than that. And any faster doesn't seem to make a difference. The people with the incredibly fast average APMs, it doesn't really matter. If you average 400 APM, you're not going to win everything. It's just not how it works. So creep spread connecting all the bases. Yeah, really well done here by Scarlett. Pushing out, setting up for a future 4th base with this creep spread, which is beautiful. Butimus Maximus, and we've got our little Hellion Raven group here again. Trying to clear creep and using the Raven for that purpose. Alright, very fun. Overlord just scouting this out, recognizing none of this can shoot up, with the exception of auto turrets. Look how much slower the Raven is than these Hellions. It has to catch up. In fairness, Hellions are zippy. Like, not being as fast as a Hellion is not a huge shame, but it's just slow enough compared to Stim Marines, compared to Cyclones, compared to Hellions, compared to most things that INnoVation is going to be making here today, that just lagging behind means you die. It's a death sentence. Hey, look! Scarlett's making a Spire. Are we surprised by this at all? No, not even the tiniest of bits. INnoVation's going for bio. Are we surprised by this at all? No. Not even the tiniest of bits. It seems like we're going to have a rerun of game number 1, which is not bad. It very well might come down to yet another incredible Widowmine hit. Where Scarlett picked off a couple Widowmines, split pretty well, you know, didn't lose too much of the first 2 Widowmine hits, and then the third one was just death. And even caught those Mutalisks too, like just a big... That is just an ideal Widowmine shot, right? A big ball of Lings and Banelings with Mutalisks over it, so the splash damage hits everything. That explosion is violent and mean, and we've seen Serral lose to that. Right? We've seen Serral lose because a couple of Widowmines were somewhere he didn't expect them to be, and he lost 8 Mutalisks to it. It's a very hit-or-miss style unit the Widowmine is. It can win you games as Terran, but you can't rely on it. You can't be like, and then a Widowmine's going to get 21 kills and Scarlett's going to GG out. That can't be your plan as INnoVation. If it happens, great, but you can't rely on it reliably. See these Widowmines? Oh, okay. A couple of decent value on that Widowmine. A couple Banelings and a Ling. Nothing incredible, but better than nothing. Muta's going to get the Raven. See, behold, the Raven is dead. Auto turrets getting some damage done. At least the Raven accomplished something before it died. That Queen, do not fight the auto turret Queen. You're going to... Queen! Oh, Queen down just for sheer dumbness. Yeah, don't fight auto turrets. Like, unless they're actively killing your drones, just don't bother with them. Move away. Move your Queens away. Move your Lings away. It's not worth it. If you have a bunch of roaches nearby, sure, wipe it out. Oh, God, there we go! There it is! 4 Mutas down. Couple Widowmines. Whack, whack. Drilling Claws isn't even done yet. That's just insult to injury. Scarlett taking a base up at 12 o'clock. Army supply 64 to 60, even for the Zerg player. Tissue regeneration helping here. Or the Mutas are going to regen their health more quickly than... Man, anything in the game? Burrowed Roaches are probably faster, but anything else, just for natural regen ability. In fairness, only Zerg units do that. I guess Protoss Shields regen, but does that count? I don't know. Terran says, I miss when mech could auto-heal itself in the campaign. That was pretty cool, I gotta admit. That was pretty neat to have a siege tank be at like half health and just sit there, and you come back a couple of minutes later and it's that quarter health. Ugh. The Widowmine's getting some damage done here today. Scarlett pulling back to the safety of her creep, which again is always very excellent. Muy excelente. Yeah, I really don't see an indication we're doing anything else for now. The Infestation Pit finished. Maybe some Vipers for Abducts on the Thor. Maybe some Blinding Cloud on the Thor would be good, but for now, nothing but Lings and Banes, man. 21 Banes in production, 16 Lings in production. Upgrades galore across the board for everybody. INnoVation's 2-2 is almost done. Ling run by, a Baneling run by attempt, but look at these Banelings all die. You ready for this? I think they killed a Marine. Here we go, tacking in. The Thor's getting wiped out because they can't run. Nice splits off creep by INnoVation. The Ling count still a little bit scary here. INnoVation doesn't want anything to do with that until a ton of reinforcements show up. And then this is a back out. Scarlett, back it out. Okay. Whew. That did not. Nope. That engagement was not good for her at all. She's pulling back to the creep. Down 93 to 52 army supply. Still, yeah, down half there. This is, once again, just half of the army supply of INnoVation. Is not a good place you want to live. I'm trying to make some Banelings, but I don't know if there are enough necessarily. Yeah, the Banelings kind of shoot their wad there. More Banelings are coming in. Can she hold it? Trying to get in here and wipe out this ground army. The Thor getting some really decent splash damage against those Mutas. God, the Mutas are just no. Jeez. All right, INnoVation's your winner. We've seen him beat Serral this very same way on this very same map. Show up at this location in this choke, set up some tanks here, maybe Thor's here, get some Widowmine shots, have really, really nice control. What is this? Really, really nice control on the Marines and the medevacs with picking up the Thors and getting them out of there. And that's it, man. That might have been a greedy base for Scarlett to take. Like, being on 5 bases is probably good if INnoVation's just sitting on 4. But additionally, pushing in here lost her a lot of stuff that if she just pulled back to the creep and waited for INnoVation to show up, she could have had additional banelings for that engagement, and instead she did not. So 2-0. A lot of Mutas died here today. She's definitely not on my list of players who I trust with Mutalisks, especially against INnoVation. Rough stuff indeed. Yeah, so again, 12,000 to 5,000 resources lost. Scarlett just not able to just get it rolling here. INnoVation with these crazy timing pushes with 2-2, with a couple Thors, a bunch of Marines. The splits are disgusting. The engagement off creep was bad. But otherwise, not much to complain about there. All right. Very, very good stuff, and that's going to be it for me today. So, this has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void, and a sneaky twofer and a Patreon game. Double game. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw, what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. And you take care of yourself.